She was the last of the victims still receiving medical attention after the rescue at the Cleveland home that had been her prison for more than a decade. But now Michelle Knight is out of the hospital and on to better things. Knight was the first woman kidnapped, and she may have suffered the worst of it. We should say she was a girl when she was kidnapped. Now she's a woman. Knight told police that she was impregnated at least 5 times while she was in captivity. But according to Knight, Ariel Castro starved her and punched her in the stomach until she miscarried. Knight was freed on Monday, along with fellow captives Amanda Berry and Gina DeJesus. A police source tells CNN that Castro ordered Knight to deliver Berry's baby in captivity and threatened to kill her if the baby died. Now, DNA tests confirm that Castro is the father of Berry's daughter, according to the Ohio Attorney General's office. That girl is now 6 years old. She can be seen in this photograph with Berry in a hospital bed shortly after they escaped. Ariel Castro is charged with 4 counts of kidnapping and 3 counts of rape. The prosecutor also wants to indict him for aggravated murder for the alleged brutal terminations of Knight's pregnancies. Cleveland police say they took Michelle Knight's name off the FBI's National Crime Information Center database in November 2003 when they could not find a parent or guardian to confirm she was still missing. Police say that's standard procedure, but they also claim they were still checking up on the case as recently as November of last year. This has caused something of a controversy in Cleveland. I want to bring in Cleveland's Deputy Chief of Police, Ed Tomba. Deputy Chief Tomba, thanks so much for joining us.
Sure, thank you.
Sir, can you explain the decision to remove Michelle Knight from that FBI database?
That was a policy decision that was made earlier. Since then, our policies have changed. They've been updated, and that would no longer happen. But since we could not contact a family member for verification and the results of her age, she was taken out of that database.
Now, according to the Cleveland Plain Dealer, your department's policy at the time of her disappearance stated that an officer must go and see that a missing person has been found before taking the person off the list, then inform the FBI within 2 hours for removal from the database. I want to play some sound from a neighbor of Ariel Castro and have you respond to that if that sound is ready.
They approached Ariel's house, knocked down the porch on the door like 20 good hard times. There was no response, so they walked into the driveway and looked all around. They couldn't see nothing, so they got back in the car and went up on their way.
So neighbors are saying that they did make complaints. There were things that were suspicious at that house. The department has said no neighbors have ever called police with a tip on Castro's home. Is it the position of the Cleveland Police Department that all these neighbors that are making these comments, that they're not telling the truth?
Well, that's not our position. I can tell you that is the truth. We have searched and searched all of our computer-aided dispatch for any assignments to that neighborhood, to that house, and any other reason that the police were dispatched there. The police did not respond to that location. There were other incidents where neighbors and people throughout the neighborhood have said things. Those have all been investigated, and they are not true.
One other argument being made in Cleveland, as you know, there's a history of accusations that the Cleveland Police Department does not take as seriously as it should the complaints and the concerns of people in low-income neighborhoods. Nearly 37% of people in Castro zip code live under the poverty line. How does your department respond to reports that suggest that police officers don't respond as diligently as when there are calls for more affluent areas? Is there any cause for concern there at all?
No, I can tell you that I've been a member of this division for 28 years, and that the members of the Division of Police take all the calls very serious, and we provide a service to our community. Obviously, in law enforcement, there is at times there can be a perception, but the members of the 2nd District are very involved in this community. We have a commander out here that's very, very involved with the community. If you ask the community organizers, the council people, the neighbors, and they will tell you that they're very, very involved. From the time that these young girls went missing, I was involved with Gina DeJesus' disappearance early on, and we were just reviewing some of our older case files as to what took place, and the amount of staff hours the amount of resources that were put in initially early on in this investigation to locate Gina was just amazing. The work that the men and women did. A lot of the men and women are now part of our command staff that worked early on this. So I can tell you that the men and women of the Division of Police are committed to the whole community as a whole, no matter where they live, low income or any other parts of the city. We're committed to serve the citizens of the city of Cleveland.
And lastly, sir, before you go, does the department regret at all taking Michelle Knight off the FBI database? And at the end of the day, do you think it would have made a difference?
You know, I'm not sure. You know, we're looking at, you know, we can look at this with hindsight, but that's something that we're really going to have to take a look at to see if it would have made a difference. We're always looking to improve, but we're happy that the girls are home. We're happy that they look like they're physically okay. We know they have a long road, but this is the ending that we wanted. We wanted to have those girls brought home, back to their families and back to their communities. So we're happy about that. As far as anything else is our policies and what we did, we will always be in a review process to see if we could do something better to serve the community and serve the citizens.
All right, Cleveland's Deputy Chief of Police, Ed Tomba, thank you so much. And of course, we are all glad with you that these 3 girls have been returned and are safe now at home. Thank you so much, sir.